Bluetooth controllers. There are so many different types of controllers. There's first-party controllers, there's Bluetooth controllers, there are second-party controllers that only work with a certain system, and there are other controllers that only work with certain systems and things and times and dates, and it's annoying. There's a ton of them. Here are my top 5 that are under $50. And remember, we give something away at the end of each month, and since we're doing this controller roundup, we're going to give away the LumenX Minor wireless controller with charging dock. This thing is pretty cool and has a nice light up feature, but is unfortunately over the $50 mark. All you have to do to be considered to win is subscribe. And now here's the criteria we use to choose these controllers. Price, how far under $50 is it? The fit and finish, how it looks and feels. The input controls, the face buttons, D-pads, sticks, and triggers, how they all feel and work. Connectivity, how easy it is to connect to different things, and also what other options do you have to connect. And then some extras. I also took into consideration all of the different reviews online. So depending on how many reviews these had on Amazon and how cheap they were based on the Amazon pricing, I took that all into consideration. Now, links for everything will be down in the description, but let's dive in with my 1 out of 5. These are not best because these are the best 5. They're all good. That's just it. Let's look at some of these controllers. First up is the Gamesir T4N Light. For price, we have this coming in at $24.99. The fit and finish of this device is pretty good. It comes in with 6 different colors and feels good but not premium, along with a 600 mAh battery. The ABXY buttons are squishy and not clicky, and the D-pad is also squishy, and while pressing down, you can rock it back and forth and get left and right. The sticks on this one are relatively tall and have a nice grippy topper to them. I like them. And the trigger buttons are just a little bit small, and the back LT and RT are Hall effect triggers. The sticks are Hall effect as well. For the connectivity, we actually have Bluetooth, switch functionality, along with the 2.4 GHz dongle. Now this controller, I definitely had some issues with the key combos, and it didn't seem like the Bluetooth setting wanted to work correctly, so I ended up switching it to the switch option, and that ended up connecting right away. I would say if you're using this controller, the dongle is the best way to pair. I plugged this into pretty much everything, and it just turned on and worked immediately. Whereas with the key combinations, pressing the rooster button and the A, B, X, or Y buttons was definitely more faffing around than I wanted to do. As for extras, we have a case that fits the dongle in here very nicely. This is a very welcome option as this keeps the controller clean from dust and is great for on the go. This is a fantastic little controller, and I really like the case it comes in. Now I know that's an extra bit and not part of the controller, but you can fit the dongle in the case itself, which is really nice. Now let's take a look at the EasySMX X10. This one comes in at time of filming $30. The fit and finish of this is very nice. It feels like a regular stock Xbox controller and has a 1000 mAh battery. As for the face buttons, the ABXY buttons on here are all mechanical key switches, which makes this incredibly clicky, and I actually really like how they feel. The other face buttons are all regular clicky buttons, along with the D-pad, which is not a micro switch but is a clicky button. And when you press down, you actually can't get inputs from left or right, which is very nice. We also have joysticks that have a softer feel but is a very stock Xbox height, and these are Hall effect sticks, along with the top bumpers and triggers. The top bumpers are very clicky, and the back triggers are just Hall effect triggers. Now we actually have some extra input here. We have an M1 and M2 back paddles. And for connectivity on this controller, it's very easy. We have a slider down at the bottom on the back that'll slide between Nintendo Switch, Bluetooth wired connection, or wireless dongle. I really like this connection type. It was very easy to connect to different things. And the extras we have for this controller are that the face plates and sides of the controller are swappable, meaning you can swap the different colors, or if you're creative, you could take these off, paint them, and then swap them back onto your controller and get a custom controller a lot easier than taking the entire thing apart. We also have a phone bracket mount up at the top near the USB-C port, and that's it for extras. The EasySMX easily has one of the best sounding and feeling face buttons and D-pads of all the controllers. On a lot of the others, you can press the bottom and wiggle left to right and get the other direction. This won't do that, which is very nice. In addition, it's the only controller with micro switches as the ABXY buttons, which makes them, very clicky. Up next, we have the Anbernic RGP101. Now this one comes in at a staggering $17.99 US. The fit and finish of this controller is very nice actually. It reminds me of a Nintendo Switch Pro controller, but with some light rings around the joysticks and feeling just a hair hollow, but overall good. It comes in black, beige, white, and radiant purple. Color options are pretty slim here, but the lights are a nice touch. And this one comes with a 600 milliamp hour battery. The face buttons on this device, the A, B, X, and Y buttons, are squishy and not clicky, whereas the home, start, select, and ancillary buttons also have the same squish and not click. The D-pad is also squishy, and when you press down direction, you can get right and left if you push hard enough. The sticks feel very stock and don't have any texturing or grip for the sides and are Hall effect. Moving to the top, we have squishy RB and LB buttons, along with pretty short travel triggers that are also Hall effect. On the back, it's surprising, but we actually have some back paddles, which are clicky, along with the turbo button, that is also clicky. This controller doesn't have a selector. You're going to need to press the home button and either A, B, X, or Y at the same time to make this pair to different things. This thing can connect to the PC, Steam, Switch, Android, and iOS, as well as a 2.4 GHz dongle. And when wired up, it'll do 1000 Hz. There are not many extras on this device. That's it. For me, this is a nice controller, but there's no standout features. This is the base entry into a good controller, and it is very cheap, so keep that in mind when you're looking at this one. So up next is the 8BitDo Ultimate 2C. Now, they have a lot of different versions of the 8BitDos, and we'll go over those after we look at this one first. This one is coming in at $29.99, and this one feels fantastic. It's a very solid construction and relatively wide, reminding me of a Nintendo Switch Pro controller. This one comes in a bunch of different colors, along with custom colors from 8BitDo's website. The face buttons are squishy, along with the ancillary buttons being clicky. As for the D-pad, it's squishy, and if you rock it back and forth, you can get left and right to trigger. The joysticks are standard height and have a soft but grippy texture around the outside, and these are Hall effect joystick. And on the top we have RB and LB that are very clicky, in addition to R4 and L4, which are also very clicky, in addition to RT and LT, which don't travel very far, but are Hall effect triggers. This one feels pretty good. And for connectivity, we just have a toggle in the back between Bluetooth and 2.4 GHz. This will connect to any Bluetooth device with a regular Bluetooth protocol, along with the color-matched dongle and also cable. Very nice. The extra feature for this controller is definitely going to be the L4 and R4. It's an extra little feature for a controller at this price point. This is a very good entry-level controller that has some interesting extra features like these back extra triggers. Now, this is the baseline of those controllers. This is the starting point. Everything else builds on that controller, and I think it's a fantastic little platform. I've been using the 8BitDo Ultimate wireless controller with the stand for like 2 years now, and it's been fantastic. Now, if you're looking for my personal favorite controller, well, it's this one next. This is the GuliKit King Kong 2T. This one's coming in at $49.99, just 1 cent under that $50 price point. This thing comes in just black and feels very nice. We've got the standard Xbox shape, along with a very matte, non-reflecting finish, and what I mean by that is when you touch it, it doesn't leave any of the oils from your hands on the controller, which is very nice. It feels just a little bit matte and almost like a finishing way. This one has a 950 milliamp hour battery. The face buttons of this really do remind me of an Xbox. The ABXY buttons are squishy, along with all the other ancillary buttons, and the D-pad is also squishy and very tight. The rubber on this one definitely feels a little stronger than the ABXY buttons. When you press down, you can get left and right to trigger as well, but it's pretty tough on this D-pad. The sticks are standard height and have a gripping ring section on the outside so that you can actually hold on to these things. And these are the only TMR joysticks out of the entire bunch, and that stands for Tunnel Magno Resistance. The same idea as Hall effect joysticks using magnets instead of springs, but provides a longer lifespan and has a lower power consumption. Let me know in the comment section below if you want a deep dive video between regular, Hall effect, and TMR joysticks. The left and right bumpers are squishy, and the left and right triggers are pretty short travel but have a soft landing, and those are Hall effect. Now, connectivity on this is really only wireless. They didn't provide a dongle, but they made it super easy on the top to understand which player you are and what mode you can switch between with the left buttons and all the LED indicators. This will pretty much cover you for any wireless connection you'll need, and connected very easily. There's not many extras here, but it did come with 2 stickers and a nice case. There are not many extras here, but it did come with a nice case and 2 stickers. I really like how deep and slim this controller is in the one profile, and it feels great in your hands. I think they did a decent job of putting a kit together that's got TMR joysticks, keeping it under 50 bucks, also giving us an extra of the stickers, I guess, and the case, but this is a really good controller too. So if you're looking for a TMR one in this price category, this one's the ticket. Now, if you're looking for my opinion on what controller I think is the best, I first narrowed it down to the 8-bit Do, the EasySMX, and the GuliKit. The other two, while good, you need to put key combinations in to connect them, and I'll never remember those once I lose the little piece of paper. If they're written on the back, I might, but it's not that easy. As for the last 3, I think the function of the EasySMX X10 is awesome, and I like the face buttons, but I dislike how it looks, which really puts us down to the 8-bit Do and the GuliKit controller. The 8-bit Do controller works effortlessly and comes in a bunch of different colors. I think this is my favorite controller for sitting at home at my desk, and if I'm going anywhere, I'm taking the GuliKit controller with me. Having no dongle or anything else to faff around with and a carrying case really makes it the best portable controller for me. I wouldn't be disappointed with either of these controllers. I like them a lot. But if I could only keep one, I'm keeping the GuliKit. That's all I have in this video though. There is a lot of other controllers I've reviewed and have shorts on, so check those out, and I will also link a few other things in the description below. If you're interested in this content, subscribe, because we give away a handheld emulator every month, and we'll probably start giving away these controllers too, because I now have too many of them as well. I will talk to you all later.